What up fellas, so I know that SPO is coming up very soon, and today I want to give a couple of tips to you guys who are either new, intermediate or as advanced as my girls and boys who competed in Asian Championships. So the very first thing that I like to tell you guys is about the weight cut. So it's very important for you guys to know how much over or how much under weight you are. And if you're under, what should you do? And if you're over, what should you do? So for all you coaches out there, trust me, I've seen a lot of people fail, especially when they are doing their water cut. Number one, sometimes they're not cutting out enough sodium, sometimes they're not manipulating their cups enough. Sometimes, my worst experience is people drinking water on the day of their weigh-ins. So coaches, please make sure that you're very clear about your instructions, especially if you prescribe your water cut protocol. And the second tip I would like to give to you guys is have a packing list. Alright, a lot of times we go to the meets, we're so ready, our bodies are so peaked, and yet we cannot perform on the meet because we forgot a sock, because we forgot to bring a triangle underwear, and we have to go to the nearest Watsons to buy a disposable underwear. Okay, things like that do happen. And another thing is, if you guys are thinking of strapping up during the competition, please remember to bring your straps as well. For me, I also have a personal preference because of one incident that happened during World Championships 2015. Honestly, the chalk that was given there wasn't to my liking, so it actually kind of threw me off. So what I did from then on is to bring my own chalk. And so during the meet day, make sure that you're extra early before the weigh-ins, because if you're late to the weigh-ins, what happens is you get pushed all the way to the back of the lot, and if you happen to be the front lot, what happens is you weigh in last, and that's not what you want to do. And of course, what I would always tell my people to do is to try to wake up at least 1 or 2 hours earlier if they know they are still a little overweight during the day itself. The reason for this is because this will allow more room for certain measures to be taken. For example, if you need to spit a little more, for example, if you need to sweat a little more, or to even head over to the sauna. And if you guys are underweight, what should you do? Obviously, load up as much as you can because you want to fill up the weight class, and with more calories in your body, you will definitely be able to perform much better than if you are depleted. So this brings me to the refeed. Why is the refeed so important? Let me tell you, I cannot stress the importance of a very good refeed, especially if you are cutting a lot of weight. So what will happen if you don't refeed well? If you guys remembered SPI 15, Matthew couldn't even compete at all because his refeed protocol wasn't on point. So what happened is he completely cramped up during the first squat. He thought that he already refeed really well because he drank a little bit of water and a little bit of H2O, but the fact is the water is not enough because however much you cut, you kind of want to go back to where you were before. And I would suggest you guys to cut the refeed 30 minutes before your very first lift. You guys don't want to be very bloated when you step on the platform. This is also based on personal preference. Some people like to go into the squat a little bit more bloated, some people do not. Personally, I don't, but for QQ, he likes to go in a little bit more bloated. But the rule of thumb is half an hour before the meet is something that is very comfortable and is what I would shoot for. And lastly, something that has annoyed me for a lot of times is to be very careful before the meet itself. So what happened is that one of my boys actually stepped on a broken glass cup 3 days out from the meet, and his peaking protocol was on point, everything was on point, and yet, so be extra careful because when you are cutting, you tend to be a little bit more tired and you tend to care a little bit less about the world, and then you just go around like a zombie, and what happens is this kind of thing happens to you. I remember my brother flicking his thumb so aggressively just to test out his belt, and what happened? He got a cut on his finger before the meet itself. Can you imagine? That is something that is very stupid, and please do not follow after their footsteps. And the last and final tip is, on the day itself, please bring along a handler. A lot of times, people think that, okay, I can just go in the competition myself and I think things will work out. And the fact is, your handler need not even be a coach, need not even be a powerlifter, but just be there as an extra hands for you to write down your attempt and to help you with loading the plates. If there's anything that needs to be done, somebody needs to run off to get plasters, if someone needs to go help you get more food, that person is there to help you. And I cannot stress enough how important having a meat handler is. I've seen a lot of people that come in without a meat handler, and what happens is they time out. They don't know it's their turn, they're too engrossed psyching up at the back, they just don't do well. And I hope this couple of tips will give you a good perspective on how you should take yourself to the meet and what you should do, especially if this is your very first meet. If you guys got any questions, please leave them down in the comment section down below, and I'll try to answer them ASAP because I know SPO is around the corner. There'll be a lot more videos that is gonna be coming up, and if you guys would like me to make a certain video, please leave them down in the comment section below. And if you guys have any fitness questions that you would like to ask me, leave them down in the comment section down below, and I'll try to answer them with the best of my abilities. And so that's all for today. All the best, and stay woke, my friends!